sometimes I would say Holy Spirit. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying. So, but sometimes it leads you because you're saying so. But named Joshua, he was in the streets, and the thing is, like, it's normal where I'm from, like Birmingham, and I'm pretty sure it's like that. I think he was from Memphis. And Memphis too is normal for kids to be 12 to 15 years old in the streets, heavy. I know in Birmingham, you be having like 30-year-old, 16-year-old. That's how you got girls stepping. If y'all don't know what stepping mean, that mean they out drilling. If you know drilling, I mean out hunting. You know what I'm saying? Real, it's like that. And he was a young kid. He was in the street. He was that deep, but he was in the street, doing whatnot. And he ended up taking 2 Percocets, and he died twice. And now he came back. He actually came back to life. He's telling y'all that what he saw.
Wow. That's wild, right? It's wild. But nevertheless, we're going to get into a little bit of positivity, and then we're going to check out this guy's story. Today is December the 2nd, 2025, Tuesday, Felice Martis. Come on, Tavia. How's it going, everyone? Peace and blessings. Welcome to Team Angie. I'm team member Aaron Glenn, also advocate for mental health awareness. I'm a private personal consultant. For those of you looking for tips and tools to manage stress and anxiety, I have a blog exactly for that. And also for those of you who are looking for passive income online with live mentorship, step by step, launch the profit in 7 days. Grab your free blueprint copy down here, down there. But anyway, yeah, what I like to do is put positive vibes out into the universe. If you don't know so by now, I'm team member Aaron Glenn. And what I do is I advocate for mental health awareness because to me, anybody can be successful. And what is success to me? It's 90% mindset, the mindset that it takes to endure the trials and tribulations of that journey. And nevertheless, the other 10% is skills. Skills that can be applied if skills that could be obtained if applied. A lot of people want knowledge, but they don't want to obtain that knowledge by actually learning. And a lot of people don't know how to learn because they don't spend time educating themselves, seeking knowledge. It's a certain way to do research. It's a certain way to obtain information. If you don't know your style of learning, you need to spend a little time figuring that out so that you can obtain information. In the Bible, there's a passage where it says, a lot of people go to church, right? But these are the 3 type of people that hears the word. One, it'll fall on solid ground. Another, it'll fall into thorns. And another one, it'll fall into good gravel, which means that seed will be planted and rooted and growing and being fruitful for others to hear that message. What does it mean for the other 2 ways, right? It's in your heart. But as soon as you get outside, you experience a little adversity, which is fall into the thorns, that message is ripped out of your heart. And a third type of person that receives the message is one that's so excited they hear it, but then as soon as they get outside, they're distracted by distractions and they forget the word and the word is gone. So, with that being said, it's important to know your style of learning, spend time to figure out how to obtain information and retain it. Knowledge is awesome, but what's even dope about knowledge is being wise enough to know when to use what you know and how to use what you know when to use it. But anyway, today is the 2nd, and this is the positive word for today for you all, for the readers and hearers and doers of his word. May this be a blessing and inspiration for you all. I am the Prince of Peace. As I said to my disciples, I say also to you, peace be with you, peace and blessings. That's what I say. Peace, prosperity. Since I am your constant companion, my peace is steadfastly with you. When you keep your focus on me, you experience both my presence and my peace. Meaning I'm not disturbed by all of the worldly things, which is this is God's talking. Worship me as King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and Prince of Peace. You need my peace each moment to accomplish my purpose in your life. Sometimes you are tempted to take shortcuts in order to reach your goal as quickly as possible. But if that shortcut requires turning your back on my peaceful presence, you must choose the longer route. Walk with me along paths of peace. Enjoy the journey in my presence. This was inspired by the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 6, the book of John, chapter 20, verse 19 through 21, and also the book of Psalms, chapter 25, verse 4. This is really on season message and timely message as well. We often stress, endure difficulties, and often lose our way in life, lose our position as well. And with that being said, we get arrogant figuring out ways to better our situation. And we often make these plans without Christ, without our Lord and Savior. And we find ourselves running back to God because our plans didn't work out as we thought they would. Or we accept the easy route, as was said in there. And we find out that these gifts aren't everlasting, these gifts aren't sustainable. Whenever the storms of life come, it takes these gifts away, it takes that position away. And also, it keeps us distracted from having discernment to be able to know what gift is from God and what gift is from the man down below, from your peers. Um, this here is about a goal that I have in mind as well, as far as managing stress and anxiety, which is a very, very important thing and a very, very important tool to have in life. And why is because people run to drugs, people run to sex, people run to all type of things to fulfill themselves, to um, relieve stress, tension, whatever the case may be, right? This is a perfect example why these things aren't helpful for us all. I know a few people that this has happened to, which is a very sad case, but in other, um, let's say, whatever their choice of, whatever it may be. And not everybody is lucky enough to make it back or to come back. He said this story happened 4 years ago. I mean, I don't know, but we're gonna check it out and see what happened. And what's the power of being sober and being different, daring to be different, right?
About things like this. You know what I'm saying? For too long, y'all grab y'all some water, whatever this y'all doing. Y'all watch my videos.
They're gonna show some commercial. He doubled down. The scene got double 2 times. He's like, you want to be here? You want to be your ass on? Go figure this shit out. Now it's your choice.
Bro, this might because it all it moves me in a different way too. It moves me in a different way. You know, I gotta allow you to eat that. He could have allowed you out there so you can come back to the testimony.
And this video is little things, gratitude, right? We wake up so entitled, so fucking distracted by what we don't have and what we want, the desires of this world. We forget that we woke up this morning. That's something small that we need to start being appreciative for. Not only that, but a lot of us woke up in our right mind, meaning you're conscious enough to know that you can go chase your dreams, whether you want to sit on your ass, watch social media doom strolling all day, or keep thinking about the dreams and goals that you have and don't have the energy to pursue them. What I'll be talking about every day, these are tools to help you fight procrastination. How does this stuff even attack you? What are things that seems harmless that produces procrastination? This stuff is the enemies. These are tactics. These are things that keep you a drifter. And what is a drifter? A person who refuses to use their own mind, a person who finds themselves following up behind any and everybody, becoming basically wherever the wind blows. You're following the world. The world is a fallen, darkened place. The blind is leading the blind. You see, our president just deployed the troops and somebody got killed. They didn't even have a real mission on what they're doing. I say that to say this. We all know we need some type of way to sustain ourselves in this physical form. Of course, money, food, shelter, and we all desire security, which to be safe, right? All of these things will be added unto us if we just simply ask for it. You have not because you ask not. I receive everything I pray for. It's not because I'm highly favored and highly blessed. It's because I'm a believer. I have faith, and this is how I manifest my reality. What I desire is not always what I get, but what I need is what I always have, and I'm very grateful for that. And I learned how to stay in that gratefulness, having more things to be grateful for. You know, it's the little things. Like me, for me, the little thing is just being able to experience this 24 hours today. The gratefulness to me is being able to be conscious enough to know how I use my words, the power of my words, speaking blessings onto people or speaking curses onto people. Because I choose to follow Christ doesn't mean I won't put a curse on you or I won't bless you. You know, it's a time for everything. And with that being said, it's always time to show love. For those of you who are open and willing to receive love, you know, it's a way to do things. I'm being patient with people, um, empathetic. I sympathize with people, but that don't mean come bombard me with your problems because I don't want to hear that shit. It means I care. And if I can lead you in the right direction, I will give you wise counsel. And with that being said as well, once I give you my wise counsel, if you don't take heed to my instructions, then get the fuck on. You know, I'm not going to waste my time on a lost cause. And that's that. I'm a different person to everybody in the world. But to me, I am who I need to be when I need to be that. And that's all that matters to me. I don't care. I don't worry about what the world think about me. The world is not going to be thinking for me. So therefore, I don't care what the world thinks about me. Majority of the world can't even think for themselves. And they don't know how to be accountable whenever something is affecting you personally, mentally, emotionally. That's where mental health comes into play. You need to learn how to be emotional intelligent, also financial intelligence, so that you can be financially free. Those are the only two tools. And the power to that tool is awareness. Awareness of the things that's going on in your day, awareness of the thoughts that you're entertaining, questioning everything. That's how you think for yourself. You don't just go by the ideologies of your parents, your friends, your peers, social media. If something doesn't sit right with your spirit, you need to question this. You need to question who's presenting this information to you. You know, question everything, believe nothing, because this world will definitely give you something to believe in, and it'll definitely have you out here drifting. It's a lot of empty minds in the world. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what's going on until they finally back in their mind to think for themselves. But at that point, it's the time where they've been used to commit a sin, and now they're dealing with the consequences that was unwanted. This stuff happens to the best of us when we're not guarding our mind and when we're not grateful. When you sit around here being angry about shit all day, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and therefore you have no more energy to do the things that you desire to do because you spent your time and energy on a low vibrational frequency. Now you're drained and you're going to procrastinate for the things that you really do desire. It's a balance, the balance of life, right? It's not about as above, as below. It's about balancing the physical and the spiritual so that you can manifest what you desire at this moment in time and experience the reality that you really want. It goes hand in hand in that way. It's easy to go pick up drugs, but then again, you know, it's easy to say no and it's easy to deal with yourself, that shadow self. A lot of people run from themselves. This is what I've been doing this year, spending time with my shadow self, everything about myself that I don't like, everything I don't like about people. I recognize what it is about these situations that's a part of me that I'm dealing with so that I can learn and grow and that situation to be dead and over with. Situations reoccur and continue to reoccur until you get the message, until you get the victory of that lesson you need to learn.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It is a
Bro, I was so scared, bro. I'm real deal face to face with the devil himself. The devil, bro. And he ain't like he don't like he's a real human being. I'm real deal. The devil calling me his son, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like
because
That's crazy, whatever. I ain't gonna lie. In Galesburg, Illinois, I met this guy, this old white guy. He was like, I guess he was the devil. That's what he told me to my face. And his eyes turned red. But I was just picking up a package and I'm on my way to go, you know, do what I'm finna go do with that. And then I'm walking through downtown because it's quicker and I like to go through the courtyard where the buildings and all this, whatever, right? I'm on my way. But before I could get through there, I'm through the midst of downtown. So this guy come out the cut It's like probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. He come out the cut. He got something in his hand. He looked like a bum at first because I ain't really, people be on the streets downtown too. They be in the cuts. They'll come out or whatever. That's what happened. He come from my right. And he like, hey, yo. He get my attention. He, I'm saying, trying to get me something. It looked like a pack of cigarettes or something. Whatever it was, I'm like, yo, I'm cool because I'm downtown. I don't want to be taking nothing from no old white man. And then these people be like, I robbed you or whatever, right? I'm not trying to be in no sticky situation. I ain't say all that, but I'm like, nah, I'm good, Joe. I'm cool. Because at first I think he was like, do you want to smoke or something like that? He's trying to give me a package. I'm like, nah, dog, I'm good. Then he's like, you know who I am? He looked me dead in my eyes. He said, you know who I am? And I'm looking at him. I got my fist ball because I'm like, fuck is you wrong? Because I'm finna beat your ass. And then he's like, I'm God. And then his eyes turn red. He was like, you going to remember this face when I send you to hell. And then I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like everything get dark around. It's like nobody around, lights flickering and shit like off a movie. So initially I get scared. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm finna go to hell. All right, whatever. And then I'm thinking like, I get offended right after that. And I'm like, if you is God or whatever, right? I feel threatened. Like I feel like you on that. Now I'm ready to knock your ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like you could take me right now. So I step in his face a little bit more and I'm like ready to punch this man. Now I'm like, we finna battle it out. And if you is gonna send me to hell, then we finna be fighting for eternity because I feel disrespected right now. And then I was like, I don't know what that was or what that was about. That was some weird shit though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't expect no type of situation like that. Maybe the dude geeky, maybe he a racist. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to get me to knock his ass out because I was ready. But I'm like, that's weird. Who would do something like that? I've seen different things that may have looked like the devil when I had sleep paralysis, dealing with different energies and negative vibrations. People who don't know what type of spirits attached to them and they'll follow you home. I dealt with some shit like that for years at a time. But with this, it was a physical man. And I felt some type of energy from him, but I was like, that's crazy, dog. Like, I don't accept what you want. Now you talk about you going to send me to hell. I'm going to remember your face. And I do remember his face. And I'm like, yeah, dude, crazy, dog. His eyes turned red. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I was scared at first because all this shit going on. But then I'm like, man, I'll beat your motherfucking ass, dude. Like, you tweaking. And even if you is the devil, like, don't come talking that shit to me. You feel me? Like, watch out. So I just went home. I never forgot about that. I never stopped thinking about that. I was like, what was that about? Like, why do I get to pick to be experiencing some weird shit? Like, do I look like fucking Peter Pan or motherfucking Harry Potter? Like, come on, dog. I'm not with that shit. I'm not Meteor and Man, a black superhero. It was just crazy. But I believe what this guy is saying. I mean, this guy talking about he was a man. A lot of people think the devil is this ugly guy, but how you think he gets you to do his bid? How you think he gets you to sign those contracts? He come with the greatest of the greatest. He is the son of the morning. This Lucifer, the greatest, the best angel that came from the heavens. Not only that, he had high influence. People left with him. They didn't get kicked out of heaven. They left on their own accord. And like, this is that man. We finna follow him. And that's the thing about having your own mind. A lot of them had their own minds, but they choose to follow the wrong direction. And now they're eternally bound from heaven. You fell from grace for what? I mean, this is the power of being grateful. First of all, you're in a place with everything you ever imagined you're creating. What the fuck else could you want? That means you're ungrateful. In my opinion, this is my point of view, but let's get back to this. I ain't gonna hold y'all long.
If you're not serving God, then you serve the devil. So whatever commandments that that you break in the Bible,
Like real
when
deal,
we
bro.
do things outside of God, He is literally laughing at us. And the things that Joshua was saying in the story he told me yesterday.
The stuff that I seen, bro, like it's real, bro. Everything in the Bible, everything that I seen, bro, was in the Bible. It was unfolding. Like, as I'm in hell, I see people in the fire crying, things like asking for forgiveness, bro.
It was too late.
And it was too late.
Too late for them.
Bro, I'm in hell. Having conversations with the devil, bro.
And if you think he lying, you a fool. Cause like I say, what this kid got? Why
Like,
you
he
gotta
in the hospital right now.
lie?
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And the only lady beside me right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into a lot, but yesterday we made it here. This is the second day. But today's the third day, but yesterday was the second day that we had came here. So when we were here, Joshua was seasoned, and at that point, I was frustrated. I was like, Lord, what is going on? What is it? But like before, like I had got that he had like a spirit of death on him, and young people, what you all have to remember, even
Where I say shit because it sound good. I'm gonna back up her story as well, or her claim. But I just do this because people be like, oh, whatever. But the proof is in the pudding because I'm gonna show y'all exactly how motherfuckers send demons home with you from people who walk around not knowing or don't have any discernment on what the fuck going on and don't even know that demons are attached to them. All of a sudden, stuff start going wrong. It's not a coincidence. It's because of those things up on you, and they probably didn't came to wherever you at, and they jumping around. You know what I'm saying, causing all type of itch. But if y'all want to stick around, I'll show y'all that right after this.
you have to be careful on who you with. But yesterday, as me and my
Right, that was another one of the keys. Everything that I be saying to just be backed up by people who have these experiences, people who have spiritual power and know how to use it. But yeah, yeah,
I was in my phone to read Romans 10, because that is the salvation where you have to confess your Lord and Savior. So as I was giving it in my phone, he could
I'll
not
put that
move.
scripture on the screen to the salvation prayers for those of you who might want to get saved, not. But I'll put it on.
I'm doing that. This dude though told me to get y'all his shit before we end it off. But Romans chapter 10 verse 9 states that it thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. And that's all that it takes to repeat these in baptism. This is exactly what we did when I dipped in them holy waters, and I did it 3 times because I had demons on me. You gotta wash their ass.
Screen, and it's super simple prayer. But if you say that, you'll be saved.
Whoa, man. Amazing. What's a millionaire?
What is this?
We're
It would be
trying to get advice
that car
for
dude,
the younger
the way
generation.
he got. You don't know what the situation is. He quick to he can tell you, hey, just sign this, and I got you. You just sign your life away
At
for being
all. It was like the enemy was trying there, actually giving his life over to God. Remind you, Josh has already been baptized. He has already,
And this is not like I
been
don't
like
my speech, my
the power why this keep doing this, but let me help try to make it a little bit better. The devil will get on anybody as how old you is. My family was cursed years and years ago. My cousin Pookie died at 18. And the curse came then because before he died, nobody in my family died for 18 years. And I was like, because I never been to a funeral. He was the first funeral I ever went to, which is my cousin. And my dad, everybody in our family was like, man, we must be cursed. Nobody never died in our family for 18 years. We've been good. And right after that, it was like on my dad's side, they started losing children, my dad included. We lost a sibling. Some of his siblings lost children. And it was like, damn, it takes prayer. It takes to get back into Christ. It takes watching who you around, because sometimes you could do all that you need to be doing, but a motherfucker come around like that with all of their demonic energy and problems and chaos, and they leaking that shit on. It's like a cup of water. Once you leave the top open, anything can get in and taint this. Now it's not clean anymore. That's how you got to protect your mind and your thoughts. You don't let anything just come into your mind. That's what this cover image is about. I'm filling myself up with the flow of the universe so that I be solid, moving with the universe, not in desperation or forcing things to work out. That's the easy route. When you're like, all right, I'm just gonna go with the flow because I'm drifting and I'm gonna get what comes with it. And vice versa. I'm concealing my thoughts, I'm concealing my actions, I'm concealing my energy, putting it into things that's gonna make me fulfilled and sustained and over time be in my position, to maintain my position. About that and the correlations on what's going on now to this day and what's to come in the days ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Totally. I be trying to explain my experiences. People are like, oh, you making stuff up. You know what I know. Yeah. We been talking all this time. Keep on shit. Fuck. I don't want to get girl here. Okay? Now I'm glad he breaking his sin. No, it's levels to this shit. It's levels to it. And people think, oh, this that. No, all of these things will cause you to drift and be stuck chasing that shit. Whether you're a sex addict, that's why they have perverts or petties, and these motherfuckers is those type of energies that he's naming. Different demons that get on your ass and make sure you stay stuck doing what they please, because this is what pleases them. This is what feeds them to keep being pleased, right? Just like jealousy, a jealous motherfucker wanna get some more jealous people because that's what feeds them, right? Somebody who love drama, chaos, the chaotic motherfucker, disturbance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what feeds them. You gotta recognize these spirits and when they present, because these motherfuckers be trying to hot body to body. They need somebody to be willing to allow them to move through them, just like the Holy Spirit. God is looking for holy vessels. All of us are vessels, but not all of us are being used to be doing good things in the world. Some of us so cool that we be like, oh, I ain't got time for that shit. Until it's something like this happened to you, like this young boy. Run around with niggas who ain't gonna tell you about Christ, who ain't gonna give a fuck about your life until you telling them like, hey, we running down the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? This direction is wide and open, but the direction we need to take is short and narrow because this is the way, you know what I'm saying? We need to renew our minds to figure out how to stay on this path. Not everybody is fortunate enough to have a second or another second chance. He said he died twice. How many fucking times? you know? God really, really saving him. And besides that, his mother and his grandmother, these praying women interceding for this man. Like I was saying, prayer reaches the heavens. It reaches realms that you don't even think. And these prayers are lifetime bounds. I pray to God about this, and it's a eternity bound. The power of words and the way that you use your words and the way that you put energy into it is very, very important. Man, man, I'm glad they saying that. Like motherfuckers be man, and it's crazy, dog. I'm watching this TV show right now called The Collector on Tubi. It's free if you want to check it out, or it's Tubi. It's a free app to watch TV shows. Um, Live television channels or whatever, movies, yeah. But anyway, the collector, right? It's exactly what Buddy was talking about. He got his pickers and choices. He got his special people. So anyway, the monk is a monk. And what's crazy is this monk, he made promises to God, vows to God. And I know I just said this yesterday, but anyway, I'm reiterating what I'm trying to get to, which is this guy is going to collect souls for the devil this month. And this crazy because he had a deal with the, basically he got a contract going on with this monk. He not putting him in the fire just yet because he got him outside the fire, still in his realm, collecting souls. And he kind of like the Grim Reaper, you can say. He met one guy, and the people that he's going to collect souls from, right? The first guy was a rapper, the second person was a lawyer, the third person was a model, and his fourth person is a photographer. I just put a little clip on YouTube about this photographer, right? When you out in public, you see something going on, you don't call for help, you just pull out the phone. You ain't finna pull it out to call for help, you pull it out to record for social media. So this guy, he running, but I mean, it is what it is, right? This guy, they in the parking lot, then a guy come running like, help, help, help. And behind him is another guy, and he just pow pow in the back. The guy that with the camera, he's sitting in his car, he's like, oh shit. He click, click, click. He catching it all like a motion picture, like if he was recording. The way he caught clicking these pictures, he caught everybody's face, he caught the action happening, all of that, right? And then he even caught the dude running away, snapping pictures as he ran away. Dude sitting there looking at him like, haha, like, yeah, I just popped him. And he like, this ain't funny, but I get tickled by shit like this sometimes. That's my evil side, murder and whatever, right? Torture, all that type of shit. Maybe I was one of those guys who inflicted this on people in my past life. I don't know. I know a lot about it though. But anyway, the dude laughing, he run off. And then as soon as he done taking all his good pictures, he go run up to the dude, take another picture. Then he like pull out the phone. He start calling for help then. But the dude already probably gone at this point. Anyway, I said all this to say this, right? The monk, he started having redemption. He started feeling bad about the people that he's sending to hell, especially because the rapper, the first guy he met, he was like, if you can't help me, the hell with you then. Get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? You telling me I got 24 hours to basically lose everything I got and then I'm finna die. Because that's what he do. He'll come to you. He'll be like, you got 24 hours. The devil finna take away everything he gave to you. And he finna take your soul. And they'll be like, all right, whatever. Some people try to seek redemption, meaning this, right? I'll go with the model. So what the model did was she was fat when she was younger growing up. She was a twin, actually. Her twin was skinny when she was fat. She wished that her twin would be fat and she could be skinny so that she could be model, because her twin wasn't on no model and shit. She just pretty and skinny. But that's what she did. She like, I wish that she would be fat and that I could be skinny so I could be modeling. Woo, woo, woo. And he gave her that. And what's crazy is this too, right? One generation is all it takes. Every 10 years is when he come to collect souls. Everybody that he collecting from, they had a 10-year contract. Every single one of them, without a doubt. So I guess after 9 years, that contract is complete. And on that 10th year is when it's wrapping up to start to go grab you. You know, you finna do your eternity with him. So the way for her to get redemption was to be honest about what she did and why she did it. Once she told her sister, what was she supposed to do? She was supposed to apologize and let her know, like, only reason I'm skinny now is because of this, that, woo, 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 like the deal that I made. You know what I'm saying? And this is one thing too. Like when you receive things from the devil, it's all good and dandy, but somebody else is going to suffer. They're going to receive bad luck for those 10 years. It could be somebody you know. It could be somebody you don't know. And what hers was, for her to be skinny and eating all this fast food, she was supposed to go public and tell people about obesity is because this restaurant food. Obesity is because not having a strictly diet, not having no self-discipline. And no matter how much she ate, just like the people y'all see on the stream, you see Casanat with McDonald's, you see all of these people with I don't eat that shit, to be honest. It's just, all right, we ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, right? For her to ruin her reputation and to let people know, like, hey, this ain't the way to go. This ain't how you be pretty and skinny, right? She could have saved a lot of people from obesity. But nevertheless, she chose to be selfish and be like, well, whatever. and she died having a heart attack on stage, finally trying to, have redemption, but it was too late. The devil was snatching her soul as she dropped dead right then and there, probably from a stroke, heart attack, or whatever. But everybody he come get, they drop dead right away, or they end up getting killed because death is coming for them. However, he comes to get them. Sometimes he just snatch your soul right up out you right then and there, and you drop dead. And that's what happened to a few of the people. And then for the ones that he did say, which was the skating rink girl, um, and she sold her soul at 6 years old. He was coming to get her at 16. And the way that she did that was about she wanted to be an ice skater, and her dad, he was like, if you allow her to be an ice skater, then both of them sold they soul. Actually, she was redeemed, the dad wasn't. But why I'm saying all of this, when the devil come to the monk, he don't come like a monster or anything. He come like you and me. He come as a little bitty girl. He come as the pizza man. He come as a taxi cab driver. He come as a beautiful woman. He come as a beautiful guy. No homo. He come however he want to come, right? Come through the radio, come through entertainment on TV. But he'll let dude know. He even call his phone sometimes. He be like, yeah, I got another person for you to go get. And he'll be like, yeah. Sometimes he'll come and even himself, he'd be like, only reason I do this is because this is my nature. It's my nature to be bad. And he'll be laughing and shit. He'll be like, you know what? I'm just misunderstood. How about I do something nice? And well, yeah, if y'all want to check that, you can check it out. Let me get back into this message because yeah, the way the devil come in, what you think and how you think. But it is different entities and energies that'll come scare the fuck out you, like he was saying. Like if you ever had a night terror, and I don't wish this on anybody, you're gonna see some stuff that isn't really, I don't know, right? Some shit that ain't too fun to be seen, ain't too pretty to look at. Hmm. You know, it's stupid. I advocate for mental health awareness because the devil ain't doing nothing that's not normal, right? When you have a choice, that's what he do. He provides you another option. That's what he said. That's exactly what he does. He even did it to Jesus. He was like, I wasn't trying to. Well, this was his words. He was like, and you can hear his words from Napoleon Hill, a book called Outwitting the Devil. It's an audio book if you want to read it or whatever. But this is basically what the devil was saying. He was having an interview with him. And he was like, I'm just really misunderstood. I seen Jesus when he came down. I know he was coming in. He was really, really hungry. He's just a man. A lot of people don't fast. They don't know nothing about fast. And they probably, if they do, they probably never will, even once in their life. But anyway, I'm not here to down anybody or, make anybody feel any type of way for spiritual gifts you have or do not have. They're all attainable, available, and can be attained by anyone. For those of you who spend time with Christ and especially spending time getting to know yourself. knowing what you are capable of. Not everybody has the same spiritual gifts. So I have to let that be known. But anyway, gifts, right? He'll come to you with like you like I was just saying with the collector, like they want gifts, they want talents, they want whatever they want. And to get that, God will give you an option. God will tell you, like, okay, well, God won't tell you anything first. It's first on you. You use your own mind. And for those of you who don't think for yourself, the thoughts will always come to you. You always just receive whatever the thoughts the devil give you. And he'll always keep you so busy and occupied that you never really spend time to like, oh, okay, where am I at in life? And a lot of people end up like this. I've been there before. Just so fucking drifting off to where I'm in situations where I'm gonna call on the Lord, like, Lord, I'm not happy with my life right now. I don't know how I got here. I don't even know what's next from here, or if I'll even make it from here, you know? And it's not even about being incarcerated, being in hospitals. It's just about being in certain positions in life that you're unhappy. Anytime you're unhappy, you're in sin, you know? Sin is anything that causes unhappiness. When you're living out of sin, you're happy. You don't have to worry about things. You're not sitting here figuring out things to, better your life quicker or whatever, right? That's what sin is to me. Anything that brings unhappiness to you. You can be happy in the moment, but once you're happy afterward, I mean unhappy later on, that's a sin. Just like if you go out here fucking all these men and women and you're not fulfilled, you just draining your energy. You're basically exhibiting no self control, no self discipline. I just seen the post the other day of a 22-year-old, this female sending a gym teacher, sending inappropriate pictures to a 13-year-old boy. A lot of guys who are predators, I can tell. We didn't have teachers like that when I was young. I wouldn't have told anything. Of course, you would not. And therefore, your mind would have been corrupted, and you would have been chasing after little girls, and corrupting other minds of the little ones. And that's what's going on. People that think there's nothing wrong with praying after children, you're a predator creating more predators, and that's a problem. No self control, no self discipline, strictly sexualized being. You could be over here catching anything. These kids can catch anything, and now they're corrupted in their minds. Let them be pure. Let them be fruitful in the ways that they're supposed to, which is providing creative thoughts, creative thoughts to change the world in a better place. Like somebody will be able to figure out medicines to help everybody. They'll figure out ingredients that won't harm the universe. We don't have to cut down all of these trees or not replace stuff like that, right? Real humanitarian type of things. But anyway, we co-create with Christ, the master carpenter, Jesus. Some of us create for the good and some of us create for the bad. But to each his own. We all have the choice to choose what we do with our time and energy and what we focus on with our minds. If you're a person who use your mind. Like that, I don't read the Bible like that. And I'm not talking as far as me, but what Eve was saying. And I'm pretty sure he don't know anything about geography. The man probably never left his neighborhood. But he say he was in London and uh Paris, I believe, or Russia, somewhere. I don't even remember. That's crazy. But I know this man ain't never been there before. But and if him not to read the Bible, what did he know about the horsemen? You know what I'm saying? Like this is getting really, really interesting. And the devil, he's working hard because he's filling his kingdom. As you can hear him say, everything is above. We're the lowest of the low. There's no devil underneath us. He's up there watching us and roaming the airs and the skies as much as he wants. And once he call us up to his hell, which this is really hell on earth, depending on how you look at it and how you interact and engage with it. But like he said, it's all up. You go up to hell or you go through there and you know what I'm saying? God pull you the highest of the highest. That's why he believes he's King of Kings, because he's above us and we are demigods. We are made in God's image. So therefore we are God as well. And he like to sit above us so that he can bring us to his kingdom, make us distracted by what God has for us. And I mean, it's a tricky game. It's a spiritual warfare. Well, warfare. And this battle is ongoing constantly, moment to moment. Yeah. It's the little things to be grateful for, man. Because if you're not grateful, you be out here chasing after all type of stuff. You find yourself in all type of situations, wanted or unwanted. Testimony, dog. We all have a testimony. We all will have one. For those of you who are on that path on your journey, right? And for those of you who are not seeking to know yourself, you know, seeking to know your creator, spending time with Christ, spending time getting to know yourself. If we were made in God's image, how can we not be gods? How can we not know who made us? Why wouldn't we want to know? We know our parents, right? Some of us do, some of us don't. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about self-awareness, right? Whenever you align yourself with the crowd, with the world, you find yourself agreeing with the world, that's time to recognize it's a big red flag and you're heading in the wrong direction. To be holy is to be set apart, meaning to be different from the world, the same way that Jesus was. He set up a situation where we could be sustaining ourselves in holiness. He set up a whole system, a whole government. He had put priests in positions to intercede for us, the same way that our ancestors does, meaning our grandmothers, our uncles, our grandfathers, whoever, right? Anybody above and before you who care about the younger generations after them. Like I pray for my family, I pray for my children, I pray for my children's children, and stuff like that. You know, I'm putting that 10-year blessing out there, the same way that the devil give you 10 years to enjoy his gifts that he gives to you and before he comes collect. The power of the words are important, so I don't ever say good morning. We in the English language we full of spells and curses. Telling somebody have a morning, your morning, right? What does morning mean? To be in sorrow, to be in grief. Who want to wake up in sorrow and grief, right? It just sound weird. Good morning. Bad morning. I say happy whatever day it is. I'm wishing you happiness for this day. If you're in a daze, happy 24 hours. There's no cursing in that. People look at me weird and strange because they're not aware of what's going on. They're not even aware of the words that they use. Some people is and they don't give a fuck. They mean what they say. And it is what it is, right? But dare to be different. Dare to challenge the ways of the world, question everything. People so quick to go do something, that's when you need to start questioning, like, okay, this ain't where I want to be, this ain't where I want to go. Like I was saying, these demons, they attack, they attract, and they are latched on to you. Just like that song, Latching On. Yeah, these motherfuckers waiting around to latch onto you. A lot of people aren't aware. They don't have any discernment. They don't even know what spirits are being entertained. Just like they say, be mindful of how you treat people. You're not knowing if you're entertaining angels or not, which goes and vice versa. You could be entertaining demons, waiting to get inside you and use you to go commit a sin. Same way that they do these little kids, the YNs. Some of them starting to wake up and think for themselves. That's where the whole quarter zip movement come from. Your image is important. Signs and symbols are important. You put yourself out there in a negative image, guess what? You're attracting negativity. Certain things that you put on have negative energy in it. I'm gonna put that video out tomorrow. And then the day afterwards, we're gonna see about the signs and symbols of the end times and how the end times basically means the end of one consciousness. This conscious mind is going to be dead and gone. For those of you who are not elevated through Christ's consciousness, you're going to be left out when Christ returns, meaning the new wave, the new conscious. And these are basically like how they say the sun is sending out solar flares, is bringing out new energy, is changing our DNAs. It's only for those of you who are enlightening yourself or who's putting in the work. Faith without works is dead. Just like I say, knowledge without wisdom is dumb. You can know everything in the world, but when you don't know how to use what you know or when to use what you know, you're not wise. And therefore, it's a lack of energy, a lack of time. It's a waste, actually. I sit here and I learn high income earning skills and I implement those skills, whether I succeed or fail. I continuously try until I get it down packed and I profit from my sacrificing my time, efforts, and energy into elevating my mind. I know how to learn and I'm learning how to learn, and that's what it is. What I don't know, I just don't know. And I'm not going to beat myself up for not being a scientist. Even scientists don't know everything. They test theory and they keep testing until they know for a fact that this is that, and therefore that I'm similar to that. I don't believe a lot of things. I test theory to know the facts. It's not a fact. I don't do it. Let me tell you one thing about myself as well. Like, I'm putting the work in, right? I'm filling out for settlements, but all right, I don't want to say this, but I am. I try to lie, right? I'm not good at lying. So I basically put in a fraudulent claim. I said what I said. I thought that was good enough. But now they're asking me questions. They calling me here for a day and I don't know what else to say. Like, shit, I'm not an author. I don't make up stories and shit. If I was, I'd be putting books out, fictional books, non-fictional, whatever, right? I don't sit and tell stories like that. I tell my life experiences, but when I'm trying to lie, I can't keep it up. I can't keep up no lie. So I've been blocking their call. Now I'm thinking just to tell them like, yo, I think I had some information wrong. Let's just forget the case because they got the lawyers calling me, want to ask me questions. And they ain't letting up. I'm like, y'all want me to lie some more? Because you could tell like I already been lying. Maybe not. I probably did it real good, but not good enough to where that was at. I'm trying to get that money. This year, all of the pedophiles, all of the gay people, all of the crazy stuff coming out. I haven't had anything happen to me, but this is about the roadblock stuff. I was like, damn, they just open cases. Let me see if I could make up some shit, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of them calling me, to be honest. Now I can just be true for and tell them, like, I don't know if I might, I'm probably going to run for my consequences They might just deny my claim. They might do I don't know. But I'm thinking about just telling them like, yeah, you can go ahead and stop the claim. I'm tired of y'all calling. I don't know what else to say. Shit. To be honest, if y'all want to still include me, that'd be cool. But yeah, that's my little dilemma I got going on. Trying to lie for some money and I ain't do it right now. I got to figure out some more lies, how to lie more, and it's a waste of energy, a waste of my time. And that's just me not having faith that God is going to provide. Like I was just reading all last month. This is what I like to do, right? This verse is a reminder to myself. I test God. I don't test God, but I prove God with His own word. What do I mean by that, right? When I pray Bible scriptures sometimes. One of them that I really like is, I am a God of abundance. I will never run out of resources. My capacity to bless you is unlimited. Philippians 4:19, and also 2 Corinthians 5:7. Rejoice in my abundance, living by faith, not by sight. I put money in that Bible verse and I just watch how it amplifies, which is kind of like my magical trick. And that's me moving in faith. Like, Lord, I put this money in there because I know that you are unlimited and you're going to make this be useful, Put $5, $10, 100, 20 cents, whatever, right? That's me saying I'm trusting your word. And I'm trusting your word for your abundance of finances, financial abundance. And I don't run out of money. I don't run out of investments. My investments don't not return a profit. So it's like, wow, I really just be awed at that, and I just be grateful about that. It's a little thing that I do that keep me straight. Got money in my pocket for the past few years. I've been coming into the year with money, leaving the year with money in my pocket and in my accounts, and that's a little ritual that I do. It is what it is, right? It works. I know how to use certain energy, and I do that shit. I'm like a mini alchemist, but I don't play with the energies as much as like that, but for certain reasons. But yeah, peace and blessings. Happy Tuesday from Team Angie. I appreciate you all. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube. This is a goal of mine this year, was to grow my YouTube channel, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I missed a few days out of this 365 days of this year. I probably completed like at least 47 weeks. I mean, that ain't been 47 weeks yet. Somewhere around there, because like for 2 weeks I've been absent, and I'm gonna try to end this year with a strong finish by going super hard and being true to my word and challenging myself to get my ass up at 10 and do my thing, right? But anyway, nevertheless, if you guys want to be a part of this journey, also next year my goal is to be 365 days sober, practicing sobriety. Not because of this video I just showed, because my spirit has been longing to be free from drugs. I smoke a lot of weed. I've been smoking for years and years, and the weed has been changing. I drink from time to time, not an alky. I don't take much to get drunk, and now I don't take much to really fuck my stomach up. So the alcohol is different from the past 3 years. I've been noticing, like, yeah, I'm done with that, and I'm gonna be done with that. Probably start picking up wine, but I don't know. But the cigarettes, yeah, I'm basically 2025. No more cigarettes after this year, and it's just because I want to be mindful of my health, be mindful of the way that I deal with managing anxiety and stress. And sometimes I'm not even stressed or anything. It's just that yearning for to be smoking, to be high, to be altered minded, which is crazy. Why wouldn't I want to be myself 100% at all times? I'm not a tweaker when I get high. I don't be running around doing the most. You don't got to worry about me and your business. You got to worry about me fucking nothing up, becoming a bill. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. It's just the way that I want to be free. And this is what God spoke to me years ago. He was like, you a weed head. You gonna be smoking like a motherfucker. I'm gonna bless you, but what's gonna stop your blessings and what's gonna take you away from me is your desire to keep smoking. And to be honest, that made me sad. I was like, because I read the Bible and God speaks to me in different ways. And this way, one day he was like, he led me to the book of Exodus, the promises of the Bible. One day, then the next day, I was like, that's really good. I like that. Whatever. Woo, woo. Will I be able to sustain myself? Will I be able to maintain this? And then he was like, no. Then I was like, why? Then he showed me sitting in the car smoking. And I'm like, damn. He didn't show me that, but I had a dream of that, and I knew exactly what he was saying. Like, this is your downfall. This is what's keeping you bound in chains, keeping you from truly being free and truly being you and experiencing the things that I really have for you, because your mind is running to these things and you won't be able to see the way that I'm trying to show you my point of view. If you can be elevated and make that sacrifice by giving this shit up, I promise you, I got you. I'm gonna bring you to the land flowing with milk and honey. And you know what I'm saying? To these promises he told me. With that being said, I have been blessed and I am blessed, but not to the capacity that I could be, because I'm holding myself down thinking that I can dab and dib and I can't even spit it out. But basically serve two masters, right? Serving my addiction and trying to serve my creator. So that's where my story lies, to be honest. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. But as much as depend on me, I'm going to be accountable and I'm going to make sure that I don't keep making the same mistakes. That's called insanity. To do the same thing over and over and expect different results. That's crazy than the motherfucker, right? I know I talk a lot and I'm not on no drugs or alcohol. I just love to talk to people. I love speaking truth, my truth. That doesn't mean that what I believe and what I think to be true is your truth. But if you agree with me on anything about this video, if anything about this message was helpful to you, I'm happy that I can do that and enlighten anyone, and someone can enlighten someone else, that they can choose, that they can have the mindset to choose for themselves, to choose to live and not let life pass you by being a drifter, just not participating with life because of the struggles, the adversity, being adequate or incompetent. These things can be a battle of the mind constantly. But with that being said, I encourage you to speak love, truth, and life into your life. And let that guide you into the best days of your life. Peace and blessings from Team Angie.